Welcome to Climbing Together, the Small Business Experience. I'm Beth Houtrow, the founder of Climb the Small Business Book Club, and our episode today is brought to us by the Renaissance Entrepreneurship Center of the San Francisco Bay Area. Every episode, I talk to a small business owner about a mistake that they've made and what they learned from the experience. Mistakes are inevitable, perfection's impossible. So let's embrace the mistake. So excited to welcome our guest today, Tatiana Dayers. Tatiana, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm delighted to be invited, so thank you so much. I'm Tatiana, and I'm the owner of Crown and Wink. It is a little beauty room, a self-care station, if you will, for all my busy women and my busy moms. I'm an esthetician, and I'm the owner of Crown and Wink, and I perform lash services, lash treatments, lash extensions, brow styling, brow treatments, and facials. Nice. Oh, and when I'm not in my treatment room, I'm a mom to a 5-year-old and to a dog and to my husband. And I'm also 5.5 months pregnant at this time. Fun fact.
Oh, it's so exciting. Congratulations. Nice. So the mom who's working, you're pregnant, you've got all the things going on. So I'm so excited to have you here. So tell us about, a mistake, a misconception, problems that you had when you first got started.
Well, I don't know if it's like a series of mistakes, but it's a little bit background about me. I became an esthetician in 2016, and I started at a spa, and I was after my daughter was born. I started working for a waxing place, and a month in, I realized, okay, waxing is not for me. I've done so many botched Brazilian waxes. I could write a book on it, but so I decided, okay, waxing not for me. My heart was in lash extensions, and my husband said, you should charge money for lash extensions and open a business. And I was like, okay. So I had no idea what to do. He helped me make a website. I had a logo and a Groupons, a business license, and I thought that was it. I was done. I'm good. But no, it took me. I'll be in business for 5 years this year, and I'm realizing my big mistake was not being prepared. Had I known about like resources like Renaissance or just small business resources in general, I would have taken classes, or maybe I would have worked at another spa for longer just to see how operationally things went. But I kind of dove in head first. I didn't know anything about my numbers. I was spending money willy-nilly, like not budgeting for supplies. I was taking all these lash classes and putting them on credit cards, and those are not cheap, okay? And I kind of had my head in the clouds, and I didn't really make a profit until recently, because I am looking at my numbers now. But it was like a series of little mistakes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a common thing, right? As people jump in and they know their product and service, but they don't know anything about running a business. And I think that, this is something I talk a lot about, is it's great to have a passion for your product or service, but there's got to be some excitement around running a business and understanding how to do that. Yes.
Totally.
And so, okay, awesome. So if you were, I think we know what you've learned from this experience, right? Is a lot. If you were to give some advice to another entrepreneur, what would that be? Can you think of like a piece of advice you want to share?
Oh gosh, one piece. I have several pieces. Oh my goodness. So looking at your numbers and just finding resources or just people to help you with the bookkeeping part of it. So for me, I had the challenge of mastering lash extensions and trying to figure out business and then just saying business, like there's marketing, there's your social media and balancing your books and your profitability, like all of those things I'm not learning until just now. So doing your homework first, and then at the same time, perfecting your product or whatever that is, and never give up. So like I said, it'll be my 5th year in business. So just keep going. And I do this full time, so I kind of have nothing to fall back on. And also I love the flexibility of my schedule. So I'm like, no, I really have to make this work, because I love being with my kids and making my own hours. Never, don't give up.
Don't give up. That's wonderful advice. And I love that you're owning it. You're 5 years in and now you're profitable, right? And that's a reality that a lot of people don't. Even when I first started Climb, I was like, well, I tell my customers it takes a while, but for me, it'll be right away. I deluded myself into this, that I was going to be out of the gate. It was all going to work out. Right. And it was a good reminder for me to listen to myself. It just takes time. It takes time to make all of those things work out. Okay, great. So let's talk about books, right? Because we're here for Climb the Small Business Book Club. Tell me about a book that you've enjoyed.
So I'm currently reading We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rogers. And it's a mix of, I find it to be a mix of self-help, business, history, a little history of women in business, especially women of color in business. And I don't know, it encompasses all of different things you don't think about as a woman in business. So it's my 5th year, but like balancing being a mom and just little things. And it's really motivating also.
Nice. Yeah. It's on my list. I have it to read. I think I'll read it next month. So I will be talking about it very soon. Nice.
Yay.
All right. Awesome. Okay. And our last thing here, our co-sponsors are Renaissance Entrepreneurship Center. So tell us about your experience with Renaissance and how they helped you.
Oh my gosh. Renaissance Entrepreneurship Center. I love you so much. You gave me a lifeline during 2020. I didn't know that they existed until my husband said, oh, they have grant opportunities. You should try out for them. So they helped me with a lot of funding during COVID, and then just being part of the newsletter and all of the classes that Renaissance offers. I've taken, I don't even know how many classes I've taken already, but they're the kind of resource that I was talking about if you're thinking about opening your own business. And Beth, you teach a class just for people that don't even have a business yet, but an idea. And so that's also very helpful. So just the classes alone, but I know there's a lot of pop-ups, and there's just so many good things with Renaissance Entrepreneurship Center.
Yeah, there's such a key
I have
part
my whole business thing.
Awesome. Well, hey, it has been wonderful chatting with you. It's so good to see you today. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you so much, Beth. I had a great time.
This podcast is brought to you by Climb the Small Business Book Club, where entrepreneurs go to learn, discuss, apply, and grow. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to subscribe at Apple, Spotify, or Google Podcasts, or follow us on Instagram at Climb Book Club. And always remember, mistakes are inevitable, perfection's impossible. So let's embrace the mistake.